What's good, YouTube? It's cuddleofdeath here. Hey, happy day, woo! And we are back with another United Championship League battle. And this week we're actually against the Southbeach Slowkings, coached by SensationalGP. His link will actually be in the description, and regardless of who wins or loses, make sure to go check him out. And I was really excited to battle David because David is one of those players. It's like a lot of people, I've seen them underestimate him, and by a lot of people I mean the audience, not the people involved in the UCL, because we know David can be a very good battler. And upon looking at his team this week, I was like, okay, he has a crap load of physical attackers. I don't know where his special attackers are at, but that's okay. For my team, we're running Galvantula as obviously the focus sash here, so I can easily get sticky webs up, which I haven't really been putting up a lot in the UCL so far. We have a weakness policy Moxie Boost Salamence because on our team I also brought a screen Virizion, so it has a light clay, reflect, as well as light screen, which looking at his team, it's like I won't need the light screen. Also, everything else on my team, actually no. My Seismitoad is Calm Nature with Assault Vest, and Heatran and Latias are both bold, because I did notice that in his draft he does have a lot of physical attackers. So, into the battle here, I do start off with my Galvantula. He brings in his Tyranitar, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm still going to outspeed this, so I have a suicide lead here regardless. I get my sticky webs up, and I'm actually predicting a Stone Edge. He goes straight for the Stealth Rocks, which is good for him. That's okay though, because I'm like, alright, well, since Galvantula is going to get to live here, since he didn't go for a Stone Edge hit, and I take the extra damage from that Sandstorm there, I'm like, alright, I can actually get a free Volt Switch here, because nothing that he brought on his team resists it. So I go for the Volt Switch, which now he's actually out into his Doublade. That does a fair amount of damage, and I go into Turtle Butt, which completely freaking walls his Doublade. Doublade is super slow, so Turtle Butt is guaranteed to outspeed. Not to mention Turtle Butt packs the Lava Plume and everything here, and it'll hit anything on his team. He switches out into his Murkrow here, which I thought was a rather interesting switch. I go for the Lava Plume, do half of his HP. The Sandstorm whittles him down just a bit more here, which is really nice for me. And so I'm like sitting here thinking, alright, well, literally this Murkrow cannot do anything to my Heatran. Not only, like I said, am I bold and everything, but there's not a single thing Murkrow can do to screw up my Heatran here. It can at most go for what, a foul play, or it can paralyze with Thunder Wave, but he decides to keep roosting for whatever reason, even though I just continue to whittle down his HP, because like I said, not only is he taking his own Sandstorm damage, which finally subsides there, but I just keep whittling down every turn because he can't roost up as much damage as Turtle Butt does. He goes back into Tyranitar here, which at this point I can pretty much keep using a Lava Plume. I have seen battles with him in the past using a mixed Tyranitar or just a special Tyranitar, both of those. But it's funny because we actually get the burn on him here, and that is so freaking nice for us because he does go for a Stone Edge, and against a bold Heatran, that is not going to do anything. I'm not sure if he was running Earthquake. I don't think he was. So we just get free damage off pretty much on anything now. He decides to go ahead and withdraw his Tyranitar and go into Sir Aaron. As soon as I saw the Sir in its name, I'm like, okay, that's his Gallade. But at this point, I was like, alright, he's going to try to Swords Dance here soon. I get the Stealth Rock since he decided to go ahead and switch there. And I should have just honestly spammed Lava Plume, and that's okay. So now his Gallade's out, and I'm like, alright, this dude is about to start Swords Dancing, so I need to go ahead and stay in and go for a Lava Plume here to try to get some damage off, as well as maybe a potential burn. I am actually running Will-O-Wisp on this Heatran here, but I wanted to take my chances and get some damage out because I was like, well, if he's just going to SD, it's going to put his attack pretty much back to normal, even if I do go ahead and Will-O-Wisp him. But he goes for the Drain Punch and KOs my Heatran here, which was alright. I should have predicted that, so I should have definitely gone for the Will-O-Wisp, but you know, as you continue to battle, you learn about stuff. So I go into Deer Butt, my Virizion here. And knowing that I'll outspeed, I go ahead and put the Reflect up, not thinking that David will be running Brick Break on any of his Pokemon. And he actually goes straight for the Ice Punch, which goes Deer Butt as well. I do think the critical hit did matter, just because we did have a Reflect up. I don't know though. No, I think it actually did matter because that was a bold Virizion, max defense and max HP. So I go into my Galvantula now and go straight for the Thunder, do half of his HP and damage, which is great. And my freaking Compound Ice Thunder next turn misses. And I get so freaking lucky that he gets the Para Hacks against him. I go for the Thunder and finish off his Mega Gallade. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm looking pretty good here. He goes out into his Tyrantrum, and I'm like, okay, this thing has crap special defense, so at this point, I'm just going to go for a Bug Buzz because it's going to be the thing that does the most damage against him, and it almost takes him out, but not quite. Maybe if I was Light Orb, it would have taken him out, but I'm not sure. Anyways, he goes for the Head Smash, and I was alright sacrificing Galvantula there because I was actually predicting a Dragon Dance. I was predicting a Dragon Dance there, but instead he went for the Head Smash. So I bring my Salamence in, take a bit of Rocks damage, go for the EQ to get a revenge kill. The crit definitely did not matter, and I get my first Moxie boost. He goes out into his Avalugg here. This thing is a table made of ice, literally, and unfortunately, I'm not running Fire Blast on this Salamence, and I should start considering using Fire Blast to have a little bit of a mix-ments there. That would have been very beneficial because Avalugg has crap for special defense. And I didn't want to risk losing my Salamence there, so I switched out into Toadbutt to take the hit, knowing that this Avalugg's not going to be able to really do much damage to me. I go for the knockoff to get rid of its leftovers, because no one wants leftovers on that table. You got to get rid of those leftovers. You got to eat them up. So Toadbutt ate all the leftovers, pretty much. He goes for a Toxic, which I sort of predicted. It kind of sucked to be in that situation, though. But I was like, alright, I'll go for a Drain Punch. As you can see, it did nothing. I was hoping that it would do more. Unfortunately for me, it didn't. And I was like, well, at this point, I need to start thinking about stab moves. And because of the situation I'm in and the team members he does have left, I'm going to go ahead and leave my Toadbutt in here. Go for an Earthquake. He's not recovering for whatever reason. And he takes out Toadbutt here, which is totally, that's terrible. Okay, so I switch into my Latias now, which, although is a bold Latias, I did pack things like Defog, Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt, and Recover on it. So for this, I actually go straight for the... I forgot what I picked. I think I go for the Thunderbolt here. No, I went for the Dragon Pulse. I went for the Dragon Pulse here. Sorry about that. It's like 2 a.m. as I'm commentating this. I go for the Dragon Pulse just to get some damage off. And I know that I can take hits, especially because this thing is burnt up. And now it essentially stands no chance. So I was like, well, just in case he decides to try to save it and switch, I went for a Thunderbolt, knowing that it would still kill him or potentially paralyze any of his remaining team members, which would be fantastic for me, because that means I wouldn't have to deal, or I would potentially not have to deal with any attacks. He goes out into his Doublade, and I'm like, well, alright. This thing kind of worries me just a little bit, but at the same time, because I'm bold, I'm like, well, it can only do so much. That Shadow Sneak actually did a fair amount of damage. People underestimate Doublade so much. He is definitely rising in the competitive ranks. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start spamming Thunderbolt here to try to paralyze him. He didn't SD up or anything. Had he had gone for an SD there, I think he could have really done some major amount of damage. We get a crit Thunderbolt there and take out his Doublade. Now, at this point, I do have two Pokemon remaining, which is just my Latias and my Salamence. So he goes into his Murkrow, and I'm like, alright, this thing's more than likely just going to spam Roost. It's going to be very annoying. And I'm just going to go for the Thunderbolt, hoping for a Paralysis, because Prankster is very annoying. But paralyzing a Prankster Pokemon is very not annoying. It's annoying for them, but not so annoying for me, because then they have less a chance to get the roost off here. So pretty much back and forth. It's just gonna be stall war, left and right, back and forth, up and down. We finally get the paralysis there, and all I can hope for at this point is the para hacks back and forth, because I don't want to send out my Salamence here. I don't want to defog to just get rid of the rocks yet, even though I probably could have, because the thing that I was thinking of here, the safest play, was since it does run Thunder Wave, I don't want to bring in Salamence. Especially since I only have 2 Pokemon left. He's running Foul Play, and I just don't want to take extra damage. So I decided to just stay in and try to stall him out, just like he's trying to stall me out. Back and forth, he has me paralyzed, he gets the para hacks there, and at this point I'm like, well, if he's just gonna spam Roost, I might as well go for Dragon Pulse to get the stab, and since he's at full HP for a moment there, he goes for the Foul Play. It does a fair amount of damage, but not enough. So I'm just like, alright, Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt, Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt. All these moves just back and forth, and it's pretty much just gonna come down to who's getting paralyzed that turn, and who's not. And luckily here I got my recover off, because had I been paralyzed he might have killed me, which would have definitely not been fun. And fortunately for me, during that same turn he gets the para hacks used against him, which made me super happy. So he's just gonna go back to Roost spamming it again. This is obviously the most super exciting, you're on the edge of your seat battle here, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this. So literally the same thing continues over and over, because I'm like, well, I seriously don't want to risk it, because he still has another Pokemon left, and I hate this. I mean, I love Murkrow, but right now I was hating Murkrow because of this battle right here. And it's super, super close. He's almost dead here. He does get paralyzed. The para hacks were working for me, and I get the Dragon Pulse and finally take out his Murkrow. So now he only has 1 more Pokemon left. It's definitely looking quite well for me, because his last Pokemon does not have a lot of HP left. It's a little bit less than half, and plus we do have Sticky Webs and Rocks. Not like Sticky Webs would matter against this thing because it's super slow. So my Latias goes for a Dragon Pulse and finishes off his little ice table. And that's actually the battle. I really, really enjoyed this battle. I think David played exceptionally well, or he played sensationally well, I should say. And I seriously think a lot of people underestimate David. Like I said, he did really well. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Make sure to check out David's perspective. Again, I'll have his channel linked in the description. Tell him GG. And I will see you guys next week. I believe I am taking on Jay next week. I think that's it. So the Carolina Keldios, yeah, I'm super excited about that. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Check out the previous UCL battles. They are all on my channel. I'll see you guys next week, and we're gonna have some more fun. I love you guys. Bye.